became a scene of furious and sometimes highly personal debate today, a day when Peter Costello let slip that this could be the Parliament's last sitting day before the election. Labor used question time to ask the government if it was responsible for details of Kevin Rudd's heart operation going public. The Prime Minister and the Treasurer led an angry response, accusing Kevin Rudd of a cowardly smear campaign. Well, the stage now seems set for a hard-fought federal election. Ben Worsley reports from Canberra.
A politician's ticker is often the subject of debate in the House, but rarely does it lead to this.
And now you have to be defended.
Kevin Rudd's heart surgery 14 years ago became news last night.
I received a transplant.
The story said the information came from anti-Labor sources.
Can the Prime Minister assure the House that no person associated with the government or the Liberal Party was responsible for backgrounding journalists over recent days on the details of the opposition leader's private medical history?
A question to a Prime Minister and a red rag to a bull.
Mr Speaker, this is an outrageous smear masquerading as a question, and this bloke should not authorise these sorts of questions. I regard this question as Kevin Rudd's question, Mr Speaker. I don't regard this question as Jenny Macklin's. To come in here and to put up the member for Jaga to try and make that insinuation is low-base politics, and he tells us something about the low-base nature of the Leader of the Opposition.
If baiting Kevin Rudd was his plan, the Treasurer succeeded.
We have been witness to arrogance unleashed. Arrogance unleashed by the Treasurer, the would-be Prime Minister of this country, who has lacked courage year in, year out, month in, month out, to have the ticker to do anything about his heartfelt aspirations and ambition to eliminate this man. What it does take, Treasurer, is courage, conviction and commitment to stand up for your principles and stand for something.
Question time was scrapped for a second day running after Labor asked if the government had hired private investigators to snoop on Kevin Rudd. But it was the suggestion of mischief-making about his health that lit the fire.
At no stage, Mr Speaker, has any conduct of any kind designed to smear the Leader of the Opposition on the basis of his lack of good health been encouraged, counselled, sought or in any way procured by me. I would reject any attempt to do so. I can beat the Leader of the Opposition without resort to smears.
Your little moral outrage only goes so far, and under the moral outrage on the surface, there is all of this unseemly conduct going on underneath that you avert your eyes from, but you know is occurring. You must know is occurring.
The government suspects the health story may have come from closer to home. A deliberate distraction, they say, from Kevin Rudd's earlier gaffe on tax rates during a press conference in Queanbeyan.
If I were a suspicious person, I would say to myself, well, I don't think that story's come from our side of politics. I think that story may have come from another side of politics.
There is a little problem with that conspiracy theory, because Laurie Oakes came and saw me yesterday morning before I went anywhere near Queanbeyan. The conspiracy theory collapses in a heap.
So too, perhaps, the veil of secrecy on when the election might be called.
This is the last question time. It could well be the last question time before the election.
A cat out of the bag or just a